We want to find the exact value of sine of negative 75 degrees. Now there's more than one way to do this. We see exact value, so we're not going to use a calculator. I could do it with a half angle, but I had just done a half angle, so I'm going to use the sum and difference formula for sine, sum or difference. We'll see what we need here. So I need to think of two unit circle values so that when I combine them, I get negative 75. Or you could move this negative out in the front using even odd, but I think I'll just combine them to get the negative 75. So thinking of unit circle values, there's 30 degrees and multiples of, 45 degrees and multiples of, 60 is a multiple of 30, so I'm not even going to list that. So really it's these guys and multiples of these guys and ways to add them together to see if I could get negative 75. So I'm thinking if I took 45 degrees and I subtracted 30 degrees 4 times, that's 120. And I just thought of two unit circle values that when you took one minus the other, you would get negative 75. This isn't the only combination or way you could do this. So this is the one that I came up with thinking about it. So I'm going to take the sine of negative 75 degrees, and that will equal, using the sum or difference formula. I've got this negative in here, so I'm going to set this up, and it's sine of, these are the two angles, the way I'm going to express the negative 75. So it'd be sine of the first angle, which is 45, cosine of the second angle, which is 120. And then because these trig functions are different, it has the same sign in the middle as these guys, which would be a minus. And then I need cosine of the first angle, which is 45, and I need sine of the second angle, which was the 120. I'm squishing it in because I'm right there at the edge. Okay, these are all unit circle values, so now I'm going to have the answer in exact form by figuring out what these values are, and then if there's some things I could combine, I will do that. So thinking of 45, 45 is right here in quadrant 1. We know at the 45 it's square root 2 over 2 and square root 2 over 2. So if I need the sine of 45, that's going to be square root 2 over 2. Now I need the cosine of 120. And 120 would be, if I went 90 and then another 30 would be at 120. So I'm over here in quadrant 2. And that's a littler x and a bigger y to get to that point. So I'm going to put 1/2 for the x and square root 3 over 2. I said 3, but it looks like a 2. Let's make sure that's a 3. And then I need to determine the signs, meaning if I'm in quadrant 2, x values are negative, but y values are positive. Okay, I need the cosine of 120, so that's the x value, so that's going to be negative 1/2. Then I have minus, and I need the cosine of 45, that's square root 2 over 2. And then I need the sine at 120, and that's the y value, so that's going to be square root 3 over 2. Okay, so we now have this done, other than I'm going to do the multiplication and combine what I can. So it's going to be negative square root 2. On the top of this is going to be over 4, and that's going to be my common denominator because this is also 4. And so then this is going to be minus square root of 2 times square root of 3. They're both underneath the square root sign, so you can multiply them together underneath the square root sign. So here is my final answer in exact form.